Hello and how is it going, Elder Scrolls Nation? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest Bethesda Games Studios news. The bit of news that we're going to be talking about today is something that happened to Starfield within the last few days, and something that I found within a trademark that provides further confirmation that the game is definitely going to come out in 2019, which is what we've been saying all along, and which is what we've been seeing while we've been digging into the trademarks recently. And speaking of digging into all these trademarks recently, what we discovered, like I said in these last few videos, and like I've talked about to you before regarding the Starfield trademark and the Redfall trademark, is that whenever a game developer gets a trademark accepted by the US Patent and Trademark Office, they have 3 years to more or less fully develop the game and get it ready for marketing, production, and sales. And Starfield is pretty much towards the end of this period, and as always, I'm gonna record my screen, that way you can see that my shit capacity meter is at 0%. In fact, it's bleeding into the negatives somehow. I'm breaking time and space because that's how not full of shit I am. And also, I want to record my screen so people who are full of shit can't take my videos down by saying I'm breaking some kind of copyright or something. They're gonna see everything that I'm doing is publicly available. Thank you, LP, for that update. He kind of corrected me there. I've been saying public domain, but I should have been saying publicly available, but it's also definitely fair use as well. But anyway, let's record our screen and let's get into this stuff. So you can see here, I'm gonna show you first, like I talked about in previous videos, stating that why I thought that Starfield was supposed to have come out in like late of 2016 or 2017 but got delayed. Here is the abandoned trademarks. 2016 is when it got cancelled because Bethesda did not provide statement of use, as you can see here. So that's one of the canceled trademarks. Here's another one for the clothing. Obviously Bethesda had a lot of plans for Starfield in 2016 or 2017 that did not happen. And then here's another one, the final last one, the one for paper goods, cardboards, binding, all that kind of stuff. But now let's get to the active trademarks. Here is the one for the game itself, the current active Starfield trademark, and it is in its 4th extension, which was just granted September 28th. That's within the last few days. That means Starfield has 1 more year for Bethesda to prove to the US Patent and Trademark Office that their product is more or less finished and ready for sales. Now, like I've said, the US Patent and Trademark Office does this and makes sure that companies provide evidence that they're using these trademarks. Otherwise, companies and corporations could just trademark names just to own names, so they could be some kind of big name hoarding assholes, so no one else could name anything at all. And names for things would just be like ZeniMax game number 42, because everyone owned a name to everything. And thank God we don't live in that world. Thankfully, the US Patent and Trademark Office does this, and like we've said before, they would allow companies to renew the trademarks, but I don't think that ZeniMax is going to allow this trademark to just run out again, and I have evidence for that towards the end of the video here. But let me show you other trademarks that are active right now as well. Like the other canceled Starfield trademark, here is one for the instruction guide, the actual book and the case that the game comes with, the strategy guide, that kind of stuff, and it recently got renewed as well, actually the same month, September 14th. So that shows you that they have all of the same stuff that Starfield had before when it was canceled, and they have it all active again. They have all the trademarks for a full release of Starfield ready to go, everything from strategy guides to the game case, obviously the game itself, and clothing as well, because you can't have a crazy overhyped game release if you don't have hoodies and hats, damn it! So of course here is clothing, and like I said in the previous video, when Bethesda and ZeniMax makes headgear, it's only hats! They only make hats, damn it! But no, they have everything ready and recently extended within 2018. The game and the game case was renewed in September of 2018, and the clothing was renewed in April, a little bit early, that way they can get the stuff out before the game's release in November of 2019, because like I said, those other trademarks run out in October, giving ZeniMax 1 month's time to fully release the game, which I'm sure the US Patent and Trademark Office would be totally cool with. A month is nothing, and they should totally agree with that. If not, they need to stop being stuck-up assholes. Now, like I said, I found even more evidence to suggest that ZeniMax is not gonna allow the Starfield trademark to run out a second time. They plan on fully releasing it this time, and here is that evidence. And this is something that did not exist before, because like the canceled and abandoned trademarks in the past, this would have been able to have been found, but there was no registered image trademark or logo trademark for Starfield back in 2016, 2015, 2014, or 2013. In that entire 3-year period, even when ZeniMax had the trademark for Starfield clothing, Starfield strategy guides, Starfield instruction manuals, they did not have the Starfield logo, but they do now. And all the other Starfield trademarks run out in in 2019. So with all this combined, I think that this logo and the fact that it exists is even more evidence that Starfield is definitely going to be released in November of 2019. Now, as always, I want to know what you have to say about all of this. What do you think about this Starfield logo and what it means for the future of Starfield and the November of 2019 release date? What do you think about the Starfield game having 1 year left for ZeniMax to prove to the US Patent and Trademark Office that they are almost finished developing the game? Otherwise, they have to renew the trademark, pay all those fees, and risk someone else owning the Starfield trademark before they can renew it. As always, let me know in the comments below, and if your comment wins the internet, it may get featured in the future video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to stay in the know with Bethesda Game Studios news, next-gen gaming news, and the most controversial gaming news, because a lot of people are trying to silence the channel, but they won't succeed because nothing will stop me from bringing you the news. And follow me on Twitter for channel updates and random shit about me and the latest memes. And follow me on Twitch, where I will soon have a weekly streaming schedule because I have recently reached Twitch affiliate. And if you want to have your hand in building future content and defending the channel from bullshit video takedowns and standing as a warrior amongst the community, then consider subscribing to the channel on Patreon, where you can earn unique and awesome awards. Links for all of these things, including Patreon, are down in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when I talk about Todd Howard's renewal to his magazine subscription list. Maybe that's a little going too far in terms of digging.
Bye, have a great time.